One interesting older nautical term that tends to be used a bit less these days is heads, used in the sense of a ship's toilet facilities. I think it's a shame that it seems to be going out of use these days, because the term goes back to the era of sailing ships, and it reflects an interesting truth of wind-powered sailing. Toilets were called heads because they were originally always placed in the front of the ship. Even Wikipedia doesn't comment on why the heads were placed at the front, but when you think about it, it is quite logical. Here are the heads from the replica of Captain Cook's Endeavour in Sydney's Darling Harbour. It is supposed to be one of the most accurate reconstructions of any sailing ship on the planet, and it's well worth a visit. On Endeavour there were two heads, one on each side of the bowsprit. Now, when you see these you think, ship moving forward, stuff dumped from the front, aren't you just going to foul the hull? And this, of course, is what would happen if you were on a ship, a modern type of ship, powered by propellers, and moving under its own steam. You would usually be moving faster than the air around you, so you would run into anything dropped from the front. But it was different in sail-powered ships. Because they moved by the sails catching the air, the usual wind direction was from the aft. And they tended to move a bit more slowly than the wind because of water resistance. You can see the result of this in a lot of old paintings of sailing ships. Good observers would notice that pennants and flags tended to be pointing forwards, not aft, as we would assume from seeing modern ships. So, taking the direction of the wind into account, what happened with material dropped from the heads was that it was blown forward and landed in the ocean in front of the ship. And that is why the latrines were at the front, and why they ended up being nicknamed the heads. I hope you enjoyed this little snippet of marine terminology. Feel free to leave comments below.